all of the ballots have not been counted. So the election is not over.
Kirk Dillard trails Bill Brady in the Republican gubernatorial primary, but he says he's not going anywhere yet. Tonight, we'll tell you why it could be weeks before the race has a winner.
The campaigning may be over, but it still looks like election season in Peoria. Tonight, we're asking when the signs will come down.
And I noticed the doors of the cabinets opening up and things falling out and falling onto the floor. And at that point, I realized it was an earthquake.
A local man who survived the disaster in Haiti is home and sharing his story with us. Tonight, he tells us what it was like when the ground started to shake.
Taking action for you. This is WMBD 31 News at 6.
It could be 2 more weeks before we know who will take on Governor Quinn in the November election. Good evening, I'm Bob Larson.
And I'm Meg Marshall. State Senator Kirk Dillard trails State Senator Bill Brady by a few hundred votes. WMBD's Twin Cities Bureau Chief Jacob Long spoke with both of them in Chicago today and tells us Dillard hopes uncounted votes make all the difference.
Senator Brady is holding on to a 406 vote lead over Senator Dillard, and because it is so close, Dillard says he's not going to make his next move until all provisional and absentee ballots in Illinois are counted.
I wish I could resolve this today, but the reality is that it takes time for the election authorities to do their job and for all of the votes to be counted.
There are still thousands of uncounted provisional and absentee ballots in Illinois. Election authorities are required to report the results by February 16th, and when that happens, Dillard says his strong Chicago presence will put him over the top.
On the provisional ballot side, we know that well over half of the provisional ballots are from Chicago.
Meanwhile, Senator Brady isn't too concerned.
If he wants to delay this to the 16th, we're confident that our victory will still hold.
But Brady says Dillard's decision not to concede derails his fundraising strategy and gives Governor Quinn more time to campaign.
I was simply asked if this hurts or restrains us in any way, and it does. Is it devastating? No, we're going to win the general election, but we just assume be in full campaign mode.
Now, in terms of a recount, Senator Dillard says it's too early to tell if he's going to ask for one, while Brady says he's confident he won't need one. However, both men say they'll support each other regardless of who wins. Reporting in downtown Chicago, I'm Jacob Long, WMBD 31 News.
Meantime, controversy is swirling around the man who nabbed the Democratic nomination for lieutenant governor. Scott Lee Cohen says he has no intention of dropping out of the race, even though Senator Dick Durbin asked him to do so today. Cohen acknowledged his 2005 domestic battery arrest, but says his ex-girlfriend made false accusations and later dropped the charges. Cohen was accused of holding a knife to her throat and slamming her head against a wall. Governor Pat Quinn calls Cohen's situation troubling and hinted Cohen should consider stepping aside.
The primary campaigning is over, but the signs are still up, and Peoria County officials say they have to come down by next Tuesday. In all unincorporated areas of Peoria County, you can only display campaign signs for 30 days before an election and for 7 days after. You could be fined for leaving them up longer, but the county says the rules are rarely enforced.
Ultimately, the property owner is responsible for any violations on their property, so we would contact them, as a courtesy first and say, hey, look, can you take those down?
Signage rules inside city limits vary town to town. A good rule of thumb is to take them down within a week of Election Day.
Well, the snow is still falling in parts of central Illinois, so what can we expect for the weekend?
Chief Meteorologist Marcus Bailey is in your 3D Live Weather Center with a first look at your forecast. Marcus?
Yeah, steady dose of snow across central Illinois, dumping around 2 inches in many locations around the area. And we do have one snow bear closing or cancellation for tonight. Mapleton Church, the Friday night gospel sing has been canceled this evening because of the inclement weather. All in all, though, roadways aren't too bad. We've gotten reports of some slick spots here and there, but it's been a very wet and slushy snow. Now, X-Vision continuing to show that snow falling. We're under that winter weather advisory advisory here in Peoria and in Bloomington Normal until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. The snow will continue to fall. Probably another inch is what we can expect as we head through the evening. And overnight should be dry tomorrow, but cloudy. We're not going to see a whole lot of sunshine as we head through the weekend. We'll talk about that and maybe another storm on the way early next week in your 3D Live forecast coming up. Okay, thanks. A Marshall County man is found guilty this afternoon of murdering his estranged girlfriend. It took a jury less than an hour to convict Tony Smith of the 2009 shooting death of Judith Birchtold of Sparland. Smith was charged with ramming Birchtold's car before shooting her 5 times. A Lakin police officer shot Smith during the incident. Smith maintained the shooting was an accident and not murder. In court, the jury heard a 911 tape in which Birchtold says that she was shot by Smith. Smith will be sentenced March 4th and won't face the death penalty. The town of Beeson, Illinois is asking for your help to build a memorial in honor of the G family children. In September of last year, 5 members of the G family were found brutally murdered in their Beeson home. The town is now hoping to raise $20,000 to buy new playground equipment and 3 park benches in honor of the G children. And to donate, send checks to the Beeson Playground Fund. That address is on your screen. It is P.O. Box 161, Beeson, Illinois, 62512.
A local man who was in Haiti when the deadly earthquake struck is back and sharing his story. Several doctors and volunteers from OSF St. Francis Medical Center were preparing for a trip to their clinic in Haiti before the quake hit. One of them went down early to prepare and was in the clinic when the ground started shaking. We asked him what it was like.
Scary. I was on the 3rd floor of our clinic, and I just closed my computer and said everything is fine. And I was walking from the 3rd floor down to the 2nd floor, and I heard this horrendous noise. It's very hard to explain. Something like maybe like 2 or 3 freight trains going across the roof at the same time.
Shank stayed in Haiti to help with relief and was joined by his wife and other volunteers from Friends of the Children of Haiti. OSF St. Francis does 6 medical mission trips to Haiti a year and is hoping to go back sometime in March.
More problems could be in store for Toyota. The company said today it's considering recalling 250,000 Prius hybrids for brake problems. The company just came up with a fix for a faulty gas pedal that affected several of its other models. The company's CEO today apologized, saying its cars are still safe to drive. Meantime, Ford says it's offering a software upgrade to address brake problems on its 2010 Fusion and Mercury Milan hybrids. The fix could involve more than 17,000 sedans built on or before October 17th. Ford says drivers could perceive a loss of braking as the car makes an unnecessary shift from regenerative to conventional braking.
Goodwill Industries is expanding in central Illinois. The company cut the ribbon on its upgraded East Peoria location today. The renovation doubles the size of the sales floor, and there are new features that will make the store more accessible.
We have added a nice drive-through donation drop-off in the front of the building because we really want to make it as convenient as possible for donors.
The new store also features an expanded book section where shoppers can read and relax.
Stringed instruments are known for playing classical music, but these local students are actually jazzing things up a bit. We'll tell you about their special visitor a little later.
After nearly 2 decades.